gospel, light of the temple. Sword swing, killer live from the ghetto. The hood messenger, let them know hell's close. Black burial, the devil in a black cloak.
Yo, what is up? Welcome to the Street Gospel Podcast. I'm your host, Dave One, and this is episode number, what episode is this, Cam? 118. If you checked out last week's episode, it was with our good brother James, man. He's hitting all the prisons, going into the prisons. Talked a lot about why we need to look out for people that are busted, that are in jail, and really taking the word to them and really equipping them so if they do get out, they'll be ready. So if you haven't checked out that podcast, go check out episode number 117, Free Indeed, with James and Guano. That was a good one, right, Cam? Yes, sir. That was dope. But today we have a guest, man. I'm pretty excited about this guest, and pretty dope to have him because I seen him on a few podcasts, and it was good, man, because I think right away he hit me back, and so I had to say, hey, can you be on the podcast? I mean, this brother is a believer. He's a husband, a father. He's a ex-cop and an ex-convict. He is a mental health advocate. He's a trainer. I got to have a fighting guy on here all the time, it seems like. It's like every other podcast, we have somebody that's in the fight game. But he's trains boxing, MMA, a little bit of everything, jiu-jitsu. And I want to welcome to the Street Gospel Podcast, Mr. Ruben Palomares.
Hey, man, thank you for having me.
What's up, brother?
Blessing.
Thanks for coming through, man.
Thanks for inviting me. Yeah, it's a blessing.
I mean, how many people could say they're an ex-cop and an ex-convict, man? I mean, that's pretty, do you ever trip out on that?
I do, especially because the big old 180 turn, everything I've been through.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty amazing. I mean, I could imagine some people probably say, "Hey, you're an ex-cop, great. It's a good thing. What are you retired? Are you retired from the LAPD?" No, not quite. I got retired, but I'm not connecting a pension or anything like that.
That's happened before.
Right? Yeah. How long did you work for the LAPD?
10 years.
10 years, huh? What do you need to go like what? Maybe 20 to end up collecting
to get
something?
A good pension, I think 20 plus. Yeah.
20 plus, huh? Was that your goal originally? Was that your goal?
My goal was probably to retire at 30 years in.
Yeah.
Get promoted to specialized units and get into SWAT, experience a little bit of SWAT and other specialized units, and then decide when to retire. Yeah. Right.
I mean, those kind of jobs like that. I mean, you can get in your early 20s and be retired by your early 50s. That's the ticket, right?
That's the ticket. And, it's an exciting job. It's fun. So if you like it, enjoy it. And you're going to breeze through. It's not going to be a big stressor.
Right. Do you think cops nowadays, you think it's changed as far as it seems like police officers now are less and less people are taking those jobs. You would have people that were maybe good-hearted, young men, young women that were like, hey, I want to make a difference in my community. Now it seems like those kind of people are like, they're afraid to be police because it's never been, I guess, a great thing to be a cop. It's an honorable thing, but I think now it's like the media and people have made it, I guess, less honorable to kind of step in that gap.
Honestly, the job itself right now is probably the most difficult time to be a cop. Not just because it's social media.
Put your mic just a little bit closer.
Right?
Just a hair. Pull it towards you. Right there. Sorry about that.
Social media, they don't help it, but at the same time, the individual officer, because it's an individual thing, because not all officers are, being dummies or crooked, or everyone has a story, but everyone has a reason why they started the job. But it's good intentions. I mean, but because I really believe 100%, it goes from way past when it started to get ugly, and then when you get on board, you already have the challenge of you're on the job that has a bad rap from before you jumped in.
Right.
Before you came in.
Do you think that will ever change? Honestly.
I don't think it's going to change. I feel that every cop individually, they would have to do something for themselves when they get in, prepare themselves, not just to be a cop and work the streets, but I really 100% believe that if you have a strong connection, and this is like just straight up reality, if you have a strong connection with God when you start, it'll be easier for you to do the job better, and you won't fall into that structure, that pattern, and you won't grow into everybody evolves as cops. They evolve when they start fresh, young rookies, they get out of get out of the academy, and a lot of them are so like, gung ho to go help and do something good. They don't even cuss. They don't even do anything crazy to offend somebody. But then through the process of what they're seeing and getting involved in, everything starts changing for them.
Right.
And some of them peer pressure, but some they start changing through their own experiences. Like maybe they got into a fight with somebody and that traumatized them, or they saw a baby get killed, that traumatized them. They got into a shootout, that traumatized. So things start happening, and individuals start changing. And then because they start changing, and there is no really good outlet or good resource where they can say, you know what, I can go here and talk without them burning me or exposing me, because then they're going to be like, oh, liability. So they're afraid to speak up about it, because if they go to the wrong person, they might get exposed. And the job, whoever's a psychologist, whoever they talk to, might say liability, keep your eyes on this person,
Right.
or take his gun away from him, and he might not have a job. So they might not talk about it. So they're going to suppress, build more junk on it, and eventually they blow a fuse. And then you see these cops out there being too rough or too scared to do their job, which sucks.
Yeah, it kind of works both ways, because I think sometimes when you say something, you get branded or you get labeled, right? And then when you try to hide something, it ends up coming out.
It blows up the other way. It's still going to come out.
Still comes out one way or another.
It's a really crazy culture. The job culture, the cop culture it's more like high school, but with steroids, because you got these guys with guns, there's authority, power, and you have the cop over here trying to do right, and then you have the cop always over here trying to fit in, and then you have the cop getting recruited into specializing only because he's a solid, or however they look at him, as a squared away guy that they can trust. It's that culture.
It seems like there's a lot of compromise.
A lot of compromise. And a lot of it has to do with, because once you get in there, you're going to see stuff, and you're going to get involved with stuff, and nobody's going to teach you how to process it or how to deal with it. You're just going to be your own person. Say, well, I saw a dead body. How are you going to tell your partner, hey, that affected me? No. You're going to pretend it's no big deal, tough it out, suppress, and then it builds a callousness little by little, because how else are you going to handle it? And then you go home and drink, or find some other outlet, or some other self-medication that has nothing to do with anything natural or healthy, because you're just causing more problems for yourself. I got my first shootout when I was a rookie. I was working undercover in the high schools. I got out of the academy, and then from the academy, they sent me to South Central Patrol.
Oh, wow.
Right there, I was there like 5 months, and I got a phone call.
So right in the heat of the fire.
Well, and I wanted to go there because I grew up around there, so I already knew that there's action. And then at the same time, I looked at the promotional part. When you get into a specialized unit or division that has a lot of activity, they look at your package, and you might be the one that they recruit first. Then the guy that worked in the valley, someone there was no activity, no action.
Right.
So I did high in the academy, so I was able to pick South Central. So I went to South Central. I'm there like 5 months. My first radio call was a triple homicide. Oh. My first radio call at night. Show up to an apartment. It's like the projects. Walked in. The first guy's on the table, slumped over. There was money there. He's counting money. The other guy's on the sofa, slumped over with his brain everywhere. The other guy's on another seat, chair somewhere, and he's got his guts blown out. So there's dope and money in that house. And I guess the rivals just blew him away. And that was my first call.
What's crazy is that you can get all the training in the world, right? They can try to prep you for what is the academy, like 6 months?
7 months.
7 months, try to prep you to handle a weapon, how to defend yourself, all the rules and regulations and the laws, all this, how to drive a vehicle, all this stuff, right? But there is really no training to walk into a house and see 3
dead
deceased
bodies.
people.
No, there is no training. And the thing is, everyone's different because everyone has different backgrounds. I grew up around that kind of violence. So to me, it was like not a big deal because when I grew up, I got to see, I went to a lot of funerals too. Uncles getting killed in gangs, or one of my uncles when I was 5, his lowrider in South Central, the jack broke and crushed his head. So I went to that funeral as a little kid. So, you know, I started getting like, as a little kid, I already started getting that numbness because of the violent, the different funerals I went to and dead family members. So when I showed up to that call, it was no big deal to me.
Oh wow.
And a lot of people, first timers, that would freak them out. And
How did you grow up?
I grew up in a home with 10 brothers and sisters.
10.
10 brothers and sisters. I'm second oldest. My dad, who raised me, he was an alcoholic with a lot of issues. He had a lot of struggles. And you know, when you're a kid, you don't understand an alcoholic. You don't understand a person with addictions. You don't understand that there's this real strong fight inside that person that's kicking his butt every day. And you don't know addiction because you're a kid. You just want your dad. And,
right.
And to me, he was my dad. I grew up with him. And until I was 17, I found out he was my stepdad. But to me, he was my dad because I didn't know any better. I didn't know he was my stepdad. But I still knew him as my dad. And I would always see him as a drunk man on the floor, struggling. He cleans up a little bit. He's back on the street, comes back drunk again, down. So, but he had a lot of anger issues. So his anger, his abuse turned me into a little angry kid too.
So trauma was
big from him.
From early on.
Yeah, and I seen him hit my mom when I was a little kid. So there was a lot of stuff was inside me that was causing me to be a little angry, hateful kid. So with him being like my dad, I was also instilled like the fear of the Catholic God, where you can't do this, you can't do it because God's going to punish me. So I would not fight my dad. I want to beat him up or other stuff because I thought it's it's bad. I'm not supposed to. So I would hold it inside. But as I grew up, I started hating the bullies in the street because of him, because the bullies were like a reminder of how he was to me, like a bully to me. So the anger I had was brewing inside me with a lot of other anger, hatred. So I grew up in that home like that, and I started boxing at a young age, at 12 years old, and it became like my therapy / outlet. Boxing became like my fix. So I go to the gym every day, and ride my bike because I was going to the gym. I was living in Huntington Park, and I was going to the gym in Boyle Heights, Hollenbeck Youth Center.
Yeah.
So I'd ride my bike or get on the bus and go to the gym.
Straight down Soto.
Down Soto, the first street, and down there, yeah. So that's what I was doing. I was training. I started getting really into it. And during the same time, Paul Gonzalez was coming up, and he's going to the Olympics. He went to the Olympics, comes back, and we're sparring partners. And I'm thinking, man, I want to go to the Olympics too. I started thinking.
Were you good right away?
Yeah, I was good right away.
So you knew that this is my way out.
Yeah, I knew. And at 15, I was fighting the Golden Gloves, and I was fighting guys that were in their 20s. And at 16, I was fighting Golden Gloves, guys in their 20s. So I built my confidence because I was sparring with like the top amateur guys that are really good in pros. Who, yeah, they sometimes you gotta get beat up to get good. I sparred with a pro when I was 16, Miguel Hapilora. He was a Colombian world champion. He come from Colombia to spar, and they go find me. They'll pick me up at my house and give me $40 a round to spar with him. So if
For
I'm
a kid
sparring
back
3 or
then,
4,
that was good.
Yeah, I'm 16 years old. It's 1986. $40 a round to spar this boy. Yeah, I'm gonna spar this guy.
Heck yeah.
And I'm sparring. I'm going all out because that's my money right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was getting really good, and I was moving in the ranks, and then I started sparring with De La Hoya, Shane Mosley. We started all coming up during the same time, and my goal was to go to the Olympics and get a gold medal because I thought get the gold medal and market myself because I saw a lot of my buddies who were pros and Olympic gold medalists how they ruined it or they got ruined by their own management. And I said I'm not gonna allow that to happen to me. So my initial goal was go to the Olympics, get that medal, and do whatever I want to do with that gold medal. Either market myself, continue to box as a pro, or just be a mentor, do something positive. But I got injured before the trials, so the injury messed with my head because I really want to go to the Olympics. So I had a backup plan, and my backup plan was to be a cop.
Did you always want to be a cop?
I wasn't sure in the beginning. No, in the beginning, I just wanted to be a world champion, get the money, retire, be all chill, and do whatever I could do after that in my own idea, whatever I could come up with.
Well, was that in the back of your mind, like Plan B's?
Plan B, yes. I started seeing Al Stanky, who was my coach, who was a LAPD.
Right.
I would hang out with him. He was my trainer.
A lot of the LAPD cops did training at Hollenbeck.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Al Stanky, George Lopez. These guys were. I was a kid watching these guys as cops, but also train us. And I really thought, man, these guys are good dudes. They're good role models, basically. They look out for us. So I thought, man, I could do the same thing because I have the the background growing up out here, and then I could be a role model as a cop, help the youngsters. And at the same time, I didn't like cops. I didn't like cops or gangsters. I didn't like any of them because to me, they're all bullies. And to me, any bully is my enemy. And,
Right.
And if you want to be a bully, I mean, I like to go out there and fight, beat up bullies and cops too, because to me, in my head, cops will bully you too. Sometimes they'll pull you over for no reason and harass you, kick you, throw you on the ground. I'm like,
Especially in that era.
In the era, yeah. And I'm like, I'm not even gangster. I don't have anything going on, but just want to be a bully. I'm like, damn,
Right.
I wish you could take off that uniform. Yeah, but that's how the mentality. So I said, well, I'll be a good cop, but I'll still look out for people.
Right.
And I said, I'll be the cop that, because I hate injustice, so I'm going to be the cop that hates evil or injustice, and I'll stand up for people, but also I'll knock out a cop on the job if I have to sometimes.
Your intentions were good.
Yeah, they were good. They were good to do good. And the first shootout is where I think 100% is where I started going downhill because I didn't address it. I got into a shootout with two guys who tried to rob me. I was doing undercover work. With a 21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
So I worked that unit.
Wow.
I went back to high school. I was an 11th grader. I was 23 years old, looking young. And
So you're 23. You go back to a high school. What high school?
Verdugo Hills.
Oh, Verdugo Hills. My wife went to Verdugo Hills.
Oh, okay.
She got kicked out of a few schools, and then they would send those kids to Verdugo Hills.
The troublemakers, yeah. They were getting bussed,
funny.
yeah. They were getting bussed out there.
Yeah, they were getting bussed out there.
So I started buying dope right away from the kids in school and introduced to people at home where they had weapons and dope. And so my job was to just buy the drugs. If I could buy guns, buy weapons. You're an undercover cop, but nobody knows. You're just being a student.
Was it really bad in high school back then, or were you catching just the normal, maybe some weed here and there or whatever?
No, I was getting cold.
Legit
stuff. Yeah, PCP.
Wow.
People were selling me stuff. So it was either they knew or they were bringing me somebody that was going to sell it to me. So I'm supposed to buy PCP off this kid. And during that time, we had the pagers. We had no cell phones. So I told him, page me at night to let me know how much you have at home, and then I'll bring the money tomorrow. So that was a whole game plan. So he pages me at night. I go to the payphone. We arrange it the next day. He says, I got $80 worth of PCP. I go, I'll take the money. My goal is just to buy the dope. It's cop money. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to buy the dope. So there I am. I make the phone call. While I'm there, two older gangsters came up on me and put a gun to my stomach, and they tried to rob me.
Oh, wow.
So
Set up.
I have a gun on me. I have my badge on me. So now I'm thinking, I got to fight. I got to distract these guys so they don't find my weapon. They don't find my badge. And then I can walk out of this without getting killed or getting shot. The guys wouldn't. I gave him the money. I told him, hey, take my money. And the guy in the front of me kept jabbing me with his gun in my stomach. He said, give me your effing wallet. I'm going to kill you. I said, dude, I don't have a wallet. But just, here, take the car, too. It was an undercover car. I was just trying to get him out of there so they could just get whatever they want and leave. But the guy kept, really getting persistent. Give me that effing wallet. I'm going to kill you. I'm like, bro, I don't have a wallet.
Right.
I already give you everything I got. And I was trying to throw it out. This guy over here to my left was going through my pockets, trying to go through my pockets. So I went tied against the wall so he wouldn't go through my weird waistband. So I moved his hand, and instantly I backhanded him in the face, and I grabbed the guy's gun. So we fell to the ground. The guy's fighting for the gun, and I'm blocking his buddy's kick so I don't get kicked in the head because he's trying to kick me. He pulls the gun away and stands over me. I can see the barrel. I can see the bullet in the barrel in really slow motion right here. I'm able to grab his friend's kick. I throw him over me. I get up. As I get up, he fires and shoots my right leg. I turn around and as I'm about to fire, he hits my left leg. And I'm just like, man, I'm cussing. I'm like, I kill you. And I fired away. And I hit the guy, right? They took off. They went running. The driver picked him up, took him to Martin Luther King Hospital. I went back to the phone, called 911, and they came and took me to the hospital. I got treated for 2 bullet wounds on both of the one in each leg, through and through. But during that time, adrenaline's kicking in, so you're like fired up. I'm angry. I'm mad that I got hit. I'm mad that I knew I hit the guy, but I'm mad that I didn't kill him. So I'm just going through a lot of stuff in my head, and everything that I've known. I grew up in the neighborhood, so I knew how to handle myself. But at the same time, I was mad because I'm a martial artist and I still got shot. I'm a cop. I'm thinking all these angers towards myself.
You didn't kill him.
Yeah, I didn't kill him.
Right.
I'm mad, and I'm thinking I just wounded him, and I mean I'm not happy.
Yeah.
And that started taking its toll on me because I started getting very hyper vigilant, very more like in a way I was more like extra cautious, but trying to come up with ways to carry my gun some other way so I could shoot from my sweater, different ways to not get caught off guard again like that. And I was just going through that, but in the department, they sent me to a physical therapy to work on my injuries, but they never checked up on me to see what was going on up here. And I didn't know any better because I was brought up in an environment, you just shut the hell up. You know your orders, put up with it, and move on. So I didn't understand that, hey, there's actually resources out there you could go get help because you're going through something that's not normal. And I just stuffed it out and suppressed it. But the unit I worked, they wanted me to go back to work undercover. And I felt the pressure, so I went back to work undercover with crutches.
Oh, wow.
Back to high school to buy dope.
So did the students know the story?
No, they knew a lie story. I made up a story. I told them, you know what? They go, what happened? They used to call me Miklo because my hair was slicked back, güero. And I said, oh, you know what? I was out and buying dope in the projects, and some dude started robbing and shot me.
Wow.
So then you know what they told me? Dude, you should have came to us. And that's why they started introducing me to other kids that sold dope.
Oh, so the 2 bullet wounds kind of helped your story grow a little bit.
Yeah, it did. But you know what? Honestly, in reality, the unit, I was fed like a story that the unit, it's a unit that the youngsters, they get a slap in the wrist, so they're not going to get hit with something big. So I thought maybe it could deter them. So I was looking at the positive side of it, but then I started feeling like a backstabber because the kids were being cool, and I was being like you start getting close to these kids, and you start seeing they're just youngsters like me when I was growing up.
Right.
I started feeling ugly about it. I didn't like it, so I ended up leaving the unit.
Technically, you're a kid too.
Yeah, I was still a youngster. I was 23
You're 23 years old with all this trauma that you brought into the department. Then you'd experience the shootout or shooting. Now more trauma, and then now you have this mind battle of these guys are my friends one day, and I'm trying to bust them at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody could prepare you for that.
No, it was difficult. So because I was brought up in an environment where you don't tell on people and a lot of different stuff, even my own views and beliefs, I still like to stick to my own belief back then. If I was believing something, I didn't want to break it. So I felt bad, and I told my boss, hey, you know what? They invited me to go fight in Australia for the World Games. They wanted me to go back to another high school to work in another high school, and he goes, well, nah, I can't let you go because I need you in the school. I said, you know what? You're not looking out for me, so forget you. Send me back to patrol. Send me to Rampart, and I'm done with working for you. And I left. It was the lieutenant. He pissed me off, so I felt they didn't care about nothing but numbers coming from me. They didn't care about me as a person. So I started allowing that to get the best of me. So I just left. I left that unit, and I went to work patrol in Rampart Division. And then I went to Australia. I competed. I came back with my medal, and it was all good. I was doing my own thing, but right there, I planted a bad seed with the department and personnel, our management, how they're more like numbers, and you're a number, and F you, whatever happens to you, we don't care about you. Because that's what I was taking in. Like, I'd been shot. I just got shot. I haven't even recovered, and you don't even care. You just want me to go out there and do whatever you want for you. And I'm like, I'm not going to play that.
Yeah, I mean, you already come into the department with a lot of issues.
Yeah, I already have issues. Authority issues
in your own life.
Yeah.
Not trusting your
my
stepfather.
stepdad.
Getting into those things, and then you come in and here's another authority figure,
right,
kind of using you for whatever they need you for, and don't care anything about your personal
well-being,
life or your well-being, mentally, physically, whatever it may be.
Yeah, and I saw that, and the thing is, because I'm the kind of person, I'm all out for stuff. If I believe in something, I'm gonna go all out. But then when this happened, you start like losing respect, and you're like, well, you know what? It ain't all out. It isn't what it is. It's something different. They have a hidden agenda. Their agenda's promotions. Boom, boom. They want to promote, so they'll use because they get all the credit for the arrest as an undercover cop. They get the credit.
So you're a stepping stone.
I'm a stepping stone for them.
Yeah.
So then I took it personally. I go, we forget you guys. So I went to Rampart Division, and right away when I got to Rampart Division, it was
the Rampart's notorious.
Notorious,
right? I mean, was it notorious back then when you went there, or was it just building its reputation?
No, it was already the cream of the crop of violence and gangs. So
I mean, it was
the 90s.
Yeah, the 90s.
After the riots.
I mean, that's one station they demolished, right?
Yeah,
they knocked it down.
Yeah, they took that. Well, that station they opened up a new station. Yeah, but the
original one,
on
right
Temple,
there, down the street from Tommy's.
Yeah, from Tommy's. Yeah. So, but during that time when I showed up, there was a all-out war with MS 13, 18th Street.
Wow.
So there was wars everywhere in that area, but the biggest enemies that were going back and forth a lot more was 18th Street and MS. So when I show up, it's hot. It's like they call it, it's popping. It's nonstop drive-by shooting calls, shots fired, man, someone down, bleed dead or whatever, or just shot victim.
90s gangbanging era is the worst.
The worst
of all LA gangbanging eras.
Everywhere.
That one was like late 80s, 90s. It was just pure war out there. That's what they say, right?
Super pure war. So when you show up, in the department, when I got out of that unit, so I just got out of that shooting. I'm still recovering from that. They give me a medal, it's like a police medal for bravery and stuff for this. But that kind of gave me like a little pep in my step, because in the department they look at that something good. Like other officers go, that guy's tested. So it gives me a little credibility, street cred, So when I show up to the Rampart division, I'm still a rookie, because I just worked undercover, and they don't really like undercover cops coming to patrol with a lot of inexperience, right?
Right.
But they embraced me, and my training officer took me in, and they were like 23, 24-year veteran, salty dude. You could tell he's been through the run, but also smokes a lot. Even he smokes a lot in the car. He wants. I'm cool, keep the windows down, but that's like he wants to run the show, because I'm the rookie. So he wants to operate his way, old school. He's been a cop for 24 years. I'm a rookie. He's like, check this out. He goes, I love pursuits, G rides. So when we get a G ride and we're in pursuit and we pull those suckers over, if you're not putting the boots to that guy before me, I'm gonna be putting them on you. And I'm in my head, I'm thinking, I'll beat your ass, old man. That's straight up. And in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, right, old man. I don't care. I don't give him probation. You don't even know where I come from.
Right.
You're talking to the wrong guy like that. And I'm thinking in my head, I'll knock this old man out and take his gun from him. So I'm already having an issue. But he's cool with me. But he was just like trying to test me. I'm not that guy. So I didn't care about his BS rules, right? But he thought he was gonna run game on me like that. It's not gonna work. So he ended up embracing me and liking me, because he started knowing more about me, and he started like respect.
What is putting the boot to somebody? What does that mean? Like,
when they're prone out on the ground, you gotta start kicking them. Bah, bah. That's old school.
That's old
police
school,
work
right?
in the 90s. Yeah, that's what he said. Put the boots to the guy. And I was like, whatever. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
I don't operate like that, because I was straight up with people. Said, if you want to fight a guy, take the cuffs off.
Right.
Let's go in the alley and fight him. Man up, bro. Don't be the word B word. Don't be like that.
Right.
Because I get mad at some of the guys. Because sometimes we'll grab MSers for doing some crazy stuff, and they're talking crazy. Like, oh, you want to fight my partner? Yeah, I want to fight your partner. All right, let's go. Go to the alley. Let's fight.
Did that happen?
Yeah, that happened. Yeah, toe to toe. Boom. Knock him on. Let him go home. And that was normal. That was all good.
So far, every one of your stories, man, it was in Training Day.
A lot of stuff that happened, pretty much. The movie, they stole from. I know somebody must have given info to Fuqua, because I don't know if it was Perez or somebody, because it was a specialized unit we worked called FES, Field Enforcement Section.
Right.
That unit, it was undercover like that. I worked that unit for 6 months, and I know that Perez worked it before me, and then
Rafael Perez, notorious, right?
Yeah, the informant. Yeah, he snitched on us, and then he also worked crash with us. I worked crash too, in the gang unit. So either way, that unit FES is similar to that movie Training Day. So a lot of the stuff that happened in that movie come from 100% stories from there. Now there's other departments that I have units and they give up info. That's how it is. But for what I know, 100%, it's a Rampart FES. It was operating like that, and a lot of the undercover units in the streets, they operate like that. You won't know about it unless you're there.
Yeah.
So how do they know unless somebody gave that info?
Is the movie accurate?
On some areas, it is accurate. And some of the stuff that happens, like picking up informants, making them work for you, hitting houses, taking their money, their dope, yeah, that happens.
Fighting in the alley,
that happens. That happens. Denzel getting shot. That's Hollywood. I mean, because if it was about Perez, he should have got booked for being an informant, all that stuff. So it wasn't really all Perez, because Perez became the biggest informant in Rampart Division against the crash unit.
Man, so, yeah, it's I think, yeah, because you talk about all these stories that so far. I mean, and even in the story of you riding with the old man, he's trying to tell you what's up. We saw that in the movie, right? They're riding together, and he's trying to school him on stuff, and and then the street fight. But you're working Rampart. you're salty at a very young age already with the department.
Yeah.
Where does it start really going south for you in the department?
So I'm working patrol, and then after like a year of patrol, I just working I get recruited to work a special. I get recruited to work a crash after a year.
Crash is notorious too, right?
Crash is notorious is the gang unit, crime resources against street hoodlums. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And your job is to monitor, identify, ID gangsters. But you're like 20 officers or 22, and there's each officer, every unit is assigned to different gangs. So 18th Street, 2 officers to 18th Street. That clique, CLCS, 18th Street, Shadow Park Place, 2 officers. MS-13, I'm assigned to MS-13. And whatever clicks are in that area, I'm assigned to MS-13. My job is to go after MS-13. So your job is to hunt them down. So you're always training with SWAT. You're always training tactics, different types of tactics, because you're dealing with ambushes, different types of 4-story buildings.
Are they putting like green lights on you?
No.
They're not doing that.
No, they're not doing that.
So they're trying to stay away from you.
Yeah, well, what happened is during that time, it was more like we were like the gangsters. We're the cop gangsters putting in the work to allow these gangsters to understand that we're going to run the streets this way. And yeah, they could put green lights on us if they want to. If they want to do that, but they understand that you kill a cop, it's going to get ugly for them.
Right.
Because there's a lot of ways that a cop or specialized cops will do a lot of dirt on you, and they'll put everybody down. They'll put dope on them. They'll put guns on them. They'll put pressure. They won't like it.
So it was bad.
It was bad.
Both ways.
Both ways.
Because a lot of times you hear gangsters and you hear police, and sometimes you see these documentaries or you see these shows, and you might have an old gangster and a cop that chased him down and arrested him, right? And they always talk about, the criminal always says, if the cops play by the rules and they catch us, good job.
Right.
And the cop says, hey, if he gets away, then hey, that's the way it goes.
Right.
I mean, but the way you're sounding is like,
no,
we're gonna catch you and we're gonna get you no matter what.
We're gonna get you no matter what, because what happened is it was to the point where victims were just innocent people that were not involved in gangs. Mm. So if you want to gangbang and you guys victimize each other, that's the life you chose.
Right.
If you shoot that guy or rob him, but you're gangsters, that's what you guys signed up to do. That's life. We're not gonna stop it. We can't stop it anyways. I mean, we can stop driving, we'll stop them. We can arrest people. Yeah, we're gonna do that. But
right.
When it comes to the victim we're dealing with, they'll reach out to me and tell me, "Hey, Palomares, this guy from MS just robbed that family, 3 families in the area, and at gunpoint, and threatened to kill us if we snitch or we say something. So we can't file reports, but we're like afraid. We don't know what to do. So my partner and I will go find the guy and book him. We'll put dope on him and get rid of him.
Wow. So
to me, it was like get rid of the problem.
So the bully thing, you're really now.
Yeah, I'm involved.
You're taking the bully out.
I'm taking the bully out. Yeah, and again, I hate injustice, but at the same time, I'm thinking this guy no va ganar. He's not gonna win. He can't win because what about these people? Who's gonna help him? Yeah, you could tell me no. You gotta file a report. You gotta no, because then when they get killed, it's not gonna be. We can't take care of them.
Right.
And people do get shot. I had informants get shot. Some of my informants got shot by gangsters.
It's so weird because I mean, gangs originally started up protecting their neighborhood. Right? And you don't come in our neighborhood, we'll go do crimes outside our neighborhood. Right? And then it became like gangs terrorizing their own neighborhood.
And extorting their own people.
That's crazy.
They were extorting the ice cream people, the loteros, the little vendors, the liquor stores. They were extorting all that area. And you could extort the dope dealers because the people that were selling dope in there, they have to pay rent. That's their system. That's their operation. So if you move dope in 18th Street neighborhood, you got to pay rent. And you have protection, too, by the neighborhood. But that was them. But then when you hit a liquor store and you extort them, that's different because that's a legitimate business that these people are trying to pay their bills, eat, and you want to go extort them. And they won't snitch because they're afraid.
Wow.
So, I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, it was a different culture of the gangs. Of extorting your own neighborhood, extorting your people that live right next to you, robbing people next to you. I think that's when, I think that's what separated, like early real gangsters that kind of, even if you think about mafia gangsters, you know what I mean? Where they protected their neighborhood. Nobody was able to come into their neighborhood and do anything crazy to civilians.
To civilians, yes.
Right. I mean, if you got shot because you were gangbanging, hey, that's the way it goes. But the civilian thing, that's where it got kind of crazy, I think.
Yeah, I think, because I remember when I was in the 80s growing up, I grew up where all Florencia was around when I was a little kid. We played basketball with the OGs, and we're little kids. We're in junior high, and we're playing basketball with them. They knew who we were. They knew where we lived. They knew our parents. They knew everybody. But they never bothered us. They never told us, hey, you guys got to jump in. And none of that left alone. But some of them would get shot in their own life because what they were going through, what they were doing. And we find out, oh, that guy's got shot or he's gone and he's in prison. We knew about that stuff, but it was never like we weren't being victimized by nobody there. Once in a while, they try to be like, hey, let me $5 for the tecatos or something. Nah, man, get out of here. But you grew up in that environment.
Right. That's never going to go away.
Yeah. That's not going to go away. Yeah.
But yeah, that's so you start doing that. I mean, how do you come up with the plan to go and plant something on it? I mean, is it spontaneous or is it like, hey, we're going to go find this guy? Like, how do you start that? Like, is it, do you just get sick of it one day and you tell your partner, hey, what do you think?
It was going on before me. So it was pretty much common.
It was part of the
crash unit. It was common practice.
Wow.
And the department, what people don't understand too, that the department, because it was a lot of gang, they didn't know what to do. The departments were they didn't know what to do. They started the gang unit to try to fix the problem. But then they said, you guys handle it, whatever it takes, get it done. And we started doing what we were doing, and they were cool with it. They're like, our supervisors up here, they were taking care of us. It's getting the job done, handle it, blah, blah, blah. So we got the green light to handle business. And the gangsters knew, they knew the rules too. So it was pretty much, hey, look, this is how it runs. This is how the streets are run. You do your thing, but when it comes to this stuff, this is when we come down and start cracking heads.
Wow.
So eventually, it was just normal. It was common practice. Everything was happening. And then in 1998, Prez gets busted. And then he exposes a unit, and everybody's acting like they didn't know that was happening. And me...
when we talk about everybody to know that it's happening,
the management...
Even the highest...
Yeah,
the highest, they knew what was going on in that unit?
Yeah, they knew because LAPD has 18 gang units, 18 divisions, and each division has a gang unit because every division has gang problems. From Harbor City all the way to the Valley, there's gangs, and LAPD has to take care of all that area. East LA, South Central, all that. So you know that there's a gang problem. Some of the divisions, like in the Valley, they don't have an extensive gang problem. And I'm sure a lot of them were like just by the book, trying to do their job as gang cops. That's on them. That's the way they operate over there. But in our area, we were just like dealing with our bosses were Vietnam veterans. They're crazy killers. And they're like, hey, go handle business. Handle it.
Whatever you have to do.
They'll cover up for us. So it was normal for us. I thought it was just normal work because we were at war. But of course, when you're not safe, you don't see the ramifications. You don't see the trouble that comes with you breaking the law yourself. You don't see that you're reaping ugly stuff yourself, and you don't even know that. Like the Bible says, you reap what you sow, but you don't even know that you don't have to break the law or compromise. When there's a guy that's breaking the law himself, it's going to catch up to him because there is a living God that's going to, eventually he's going to catch up and get him. He's going to have to meet him, or he's going to get reaping his nonsense in the process of his stuff. But we didn't know that, so we're just putting in work thinking this is how we handle business.
Was there any remorse?
None.
Nothing.
No, and no pity, no compassion. I got into the shootout in 98 when working at FES, and the guy pulled out a gun on me and shot him, killed him. And it was like, no remorse, no nothing. I didn't care. I like, again, I was addicted to the adrenaline, to the violence. I was cold. I didn't feel nothing for nobody, and I didn't think there was anything wrong with me. You won't ever tell me back then that there's something wrong with me because I'd be like, nothing wrong with me, something wrong with you, because I had attitude. I had too much pride. I had a lot of anger, but my anger, you couldn't see it. You could only see me with a fake smile, but I always plotted in my head what I'm gonna do. It's out of control.
And when you plant stuff on people, when you do that, I mean, what are they saying? Because they know you. They know you're dirty, right? They know you're a dirty cop. So now they're like.
So let's say I'm doing a surveillance with my binoculars. I'm watching 6 gangmen from 18th Street or MS-13 selling dope. So the minute I'm watching him do the activity, and I'm working undercover, I'll tell the black and white, the cop car, hey, grab all those guys on the corner of Coronado and 6. I just bought dope off them. I didn't buy dope off them, but they don't know they sold it to me. They don't know they did because they're selling dope to everybody in the streets. So I'll book them all, and I'll have dope that I had my own stash. And I just say I bought this dope off these guys. And I'll book all 6 for sales because I watched them for like an hour, 30 minutes selling dope. But I wasn't going to go up there and buy it because I'm undercover at that time, but I also work crash. And afterwards, they're going to recognize me.
Right.
So I'm like, dumb. But I was in this unit, so that's how I'll get these guys. Or my informers will call me and say, hey, there's an apartment right here. I'm the manager, and there's about 18 streeters moving dope right here, running around the hallway with guns, and the kids are in the hallways, and can you do something about it? So we sneak into the back, find the dope over there, grab the dope. I already have an informant. I did everything. I just put the dope on the guys and book them all for sale and for weapons and get rid of them.
Wow.
So I protect my informants.
Yeah.
And to me, it was like normal police work, and I was just cleaning up the apartments, cleaning house.
So you think you're like are you
hero.
thinking like I'm Robin Hood?
Robin Hood, yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm doing good. In the end, I'm doing good.
Yeah, but you don't know anybody that you're not. You know, you're doing the enemy's work because it doesn't operate like that.
Yeah, you're not doing it righteously.
You're not.
You're doing it, unrighteously.
Unrighteously. So, but you're justifying it because you're saying we're taking care of these people and this is what we're supposed to do. And after my second shooting, I was already in the dark side of my head. So when Perez told on us, I saw the department bringing everybody that he was exposing, going under investigation, and being sent home on relief of duty without pay. And these were my partners. So I'm like, you know what? These are my solid workers, solid cops, solid. They're taking care of the community. How are you guys gonna throw them under the bus like that? And I'm thinking, oh, you know what? Forget you guys. So I told myself I don't want to be a cop no more. Because I thought they're going to be watching us. They're not going to let us work no more. So in my mind, that's how angry I was and bitter. That's why I started plotting against them. So I said, well, why are they targeting Rampart only? Why aren't they targeting all the other divisions that have gang units? They all have gang units. Why just Rampart?
Were they all shady?
Yeah, they were all shady.
For the most part. They had their batch of guys that weren't doing it right.
Yeah, and everybody knew. It's like how would I say it? In a good example, like the Emmett, right? And los sureños torpedoes. Well, they know each other. They know what they're about, how they operate, and in the crash unit, that's how it was too. They knew how they operated. Only they knew, and everybody else was kind of unaware really what was going on. But they understood that they were doing the dirty work.
So when we got these stories and we heard, Rafael Perez gets arrested, gives up everybody. We had a lot of politicians, a lot of upper management,
right.
Chief, all these people trying to downplay it.
Right.
No, it's not really like that. It's a small batch of bad cops doing this.
They're lying. Because they got to cover it. And you got to think about liability. They don't want to open up another can of worm and blow up to other divisions. They didn't want to do all that. FBI, everybody's going to be working.
Because a gang member said, no, this is true.
Yeah, gang members said true.
This has been going on forever. This is what we've been telling you.
Yeah. But then you got to look at this part because this is where we all had rules. Gangsters wouldn't snitch either on cops.
Right.
They're not supposed to because that's the rules. Because once you snitch on a cop, your own homeboy will say you're a snitch, period.
Really?
So, they wouldn't. But there was times where they were doing that. And they started allowing it sometimes to expose a cop. Because I had 2 partners of mine that were working. They beat up the guy. We knew we had an 18-shooter working for us. He was our informant. And he was our informant, but he was also protecting the dope dealers and collecting rent for the dope dealers. And he was working for us too. And he'll call us, hey, we're gonna do a drive-by on MS-13. Come and stop us. So we'll pull them over, and there's 2 cars loaded of gangsters and guns, and our informant center. So we gotta take care of our informant, and we gotta make it look legit. So book certain individuals. Excuse me. And then this informant of ours was working. But once we let him go, he's out and about. But another unit picked him up one time, and they put the beating on him, and they busted him up. And when he got relieved, when the guy that was running him, the agent, the cop from Crash, told the other guy, "Hey man, don't arrest this guy. That's my informant. Leave him alone." But they already busted him up. They go, "Now we gotta book him. No, let him be, man. That's my guy, man. That's my informant. He works for us. He's good." Because he was like underboss for the inmate. He was,
oh wow!
But they didn't know. Nobody knew this. And so they let him go, and he's walking out of the station, bloodied up, and one of his homeboys sees him and says, "What happened, bro? Oh, you beat me up. I busted my face up. Oh man, you gotta go to the hospital." Was he at the hospital? The doctor said, "What's happening?" "Oh, I got beat up by the cops." And then the guy said, "You better turn him and report him." His homeboy told me, "You better report him."
Oh wow!
So he ended up having to report him when he's working for us. So
Oh.
he's stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
So he ended up doing that. So they started a big investigation on these two officers, and they ended up firing him because of that. But this guy was given like the push by his homeboy to do it.
Oh wow! That was a no-no from that.
That was a no-no. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but he was like stuck because he's like, "Damn, I work for these dudes. I don't want to. I'm doing good out here doing my thing. I don't want to do it." But yeah, he had no choice. If he doesn't do it, his homeboy's gonna think something's up.
What was the benefit of these guys? I mean, for you guys, when you got an informant, did you book them for another crime and said, "Hey, if you become an informant, we'll drop it," or what was their benefit for becoming an informant?
Sometimes you could catch them with a lot of dope or a gun, and the three strikers. Oh, they're on probation. They don't want to do time. They want to be out. So to us, we'll work it. We're like, okay, well, look, make a phone call for us and give us something big, and we'll let you go home. We're not going to book you. But you got to stay connected with it because we're going to still need you for something else later on.
It's a scary life to live.
Yeah. So I said, just remember that. Don't be hiding from us. And some of my informants would sometimes like stay good, but then some of them will try to hide. And then they're out in the bond and somebody shoots them up. Like their enemy, their own people shoot them. Because they ended up finding out by somebody that they were informants.
Wow.
And I would try to tell them, look, if you stay clear out of that area and out here, I'll look out for you. But once you're on your own, I can't look out for you anymore.
So it sounds like you had a lot of power in your area.
I did.
Right? And how old are you at this time?
At that time, I'm 26, 27.
So you're riding high.
Yeah.
27-year-old, probably killing it on overtime, making some good money there.
I had my own gym at the time too, so I was trying to balance it. I had been Victor Belfort and those guys, the Gracies, Carson Gracie's team. I was training with them, so I had my own gym with them. I was teaching them boxing, kickboxing. They were teaching me jiu-jitsu in 1996. I opened my gym with them, so I had my first gym with them. Rodrigo Maderos, all those guys.
Yeah.
And I became real tight with them. We started training, and so I wanted to do my job out here and run my gym too. So I wanted to just get my hours in and get back to my gym.
Get to the gym, get that going.
Yeah.
Was that something that you really wanted to do?
Yeah, I really wanted to do that. I liked it. I liked the mixed martial arts. I love just learning how to train, like to stand up to the ground, because jiu-jitsu was introduced to me early on in 96 by the Brazilian guys. And believe me, I fell in love with it because I thought I was good at just being a stand-up fighter. And I knew boxing, kickboxing. I have black belt and have keto. And when I got taken to the ground, I didn't know nothing. I'm like, what the heck is this? This nice beast. It humbled me, but I said, man, I got to learn this.
Yeah.
So I got into it. I got really addicted to it. So I started learning how to mesh it real good.
Yeah.
In the 90s.
You have to have both, right?
You have to have both.
If you're a cop.
If you're a cop, and I'll tell the guys from Rodrigo and them, I don't want no gi right now. I want no gi because on the street, I'm going to get a guy who's on 200-pounder on PCP. He might not have a shirt on. He might be all sweaty. I say, I got to just grab him by the limbs and take him down, do what I have to do. But I there's no shirts, no gi. These guys don't wear no gi. So I just wanted to do all full. Back then, they call it valetudo.
Yeah.
And Victor Belfort, I was training them in the stand-up, and they were teaching me that stuff back in them days. So I started learning how to mix in the early days, in the 90s. I started getting really good at it, and I started getting I started learning how to mesh it the right way because of my strong stand-up. It really helped.
Got to have both.
But you gotta have both, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy because you see a lot of cops nowadays. I mean, we see all the videos, right? They can't take nobody down.
They have no clue.
They're getting beat up. It's sad.
It's sad and embarrassing because
it's dangerous.
And dangerous because they could take your gun from you.
Right.
Once you take your gun, they could shoot you.
It's over.
Or something else stab you, and if you don't have a a little bit of training goes a long way. Better than having, even in the academy, whatever you get in the academy, it's a little bit, but a lot of them just do it just to pass the test and get out of the academy. But they don't pursue it. They don't follow up on nothing.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I hate to say this about police, but there's a lot of police that just become cops because it's a job.
It's a job.
I get it, but you're risking your life every day, and you know, you see them hire people. You see them hire these little women, you know, 5'4", and they're out on patrol, not behind a desk.
Patrol.
You know, they're on patrol, or you see a guy and he's overweight and not in shape, and you're thinking in your head like, bro, like you have a potential to go up against, like you said, a 200-pound guy on PCP.
Yeah.
And what are you gonna do? I mean, you can bring out your taser. Is that gonna work? I don't know.
It's not gonna work.
Might not work.
And what, you're gonna shoot him? What if you can't get to your gun?
Then you shoot him, and then what happens?
Trouble. Then you're in big trouble.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff. And I became an instructor for the department for the last 2 years before I got in trouble. And I taught tactics and self-defense, which I was able to teach them the MMA for cops.
Yeah.
But believe me, bro, they would bring in all the in-service cops. Like, let's just say every week I'm training 400 cops every week. Monday, Tuesday, 200 or more, and then Wednesday, Thursday, another 200. And that's they keep coming, different ones. And out of all those I would train, there was probably like in the group of 200, like 2 that were doing good, decent fitness. A lot of them were sloppy. They don't care. They don't train. They think they're going to pull out the gun. And I'm like, well, show me how you're going to pull out your gun when I'm taking you to the ground and beating you up, because you're not. And I'm like, no, this is your guys' frame of mind is dumb. But that's the frame of mind of a certain individual on the job. That's why I say the job itself, when you start doing it and you don't have an outlet and you don't have any type of like, again, me, 100%, I tell people I preach. Not a Bible thumper, reality, because I lived it. You need a relation with Jesus, 100%. If you want to survive it without having all this mental health issues, or being an addict, or being a pill popper, or being an alcoholic, or divorcee like 20 times, all this stuff, it comes with the territory. And a lot of the officers in the departments are going through all that because, again, they compromise too. Right. And you don't have to compromise like I did. Just compromising is being rude and disrespectful to somebody that didn't have it coming, and then being full of anger, hatred. That's already affecting you as a human being.
Are there good cops?
There's good cops out there. Yeah.
Believers that are living
good
right.
Believers, yeah.
I just feel like it would be tough.
Just and it's hard for them.
Because there's a lot of, especially now, there's just nothing but disrespect. A
lot.
I mean, my family was from the neighborhood, but my mom always told me, hey, respect the police. Yeah. When I became a teenager, I was like, how did they always say that? Like, man, right. And, you know, you start to notice things, and maybe a cop treats you bad here and there or whatever.
Right.
And but my parents, hey, respect the cops, and it'd be like, okay. And this is from, you know, family.
You're a kid.
Yeah, they grew up rough, you know, and around cops, that bad cops. You know what I mean?
Right.
But there was a level of respect there, right? Yeah. Nowadays, there's no level of respect. None. You know, it's out of control. I don't know if you saw. I saw a video Santa Ana the other day. Cop was there arresting him. The girlfriend came, tried to shove the cop. Cop slammed her. So 2 other dudes jumped in. They were fighting with the police.
With the cops, yeah.
And I'm thinking, you can't win.
No, you're not gonna win.
You're not gonna win, right?
You're not gonna win.
But the disrespect is just out of control right now.
It's like no more boundaries. Like, there used to be boundaries where, like, okay, officer, I got you. What do you want me to do? Okay, got it. Put my hands up. Now there's no boundaries. It's like, what do you put me over for? And I get it. Sometimes you have
call your supervisor.
Yeah.
Who cares?
If you did something like you take a red light, just go with the flow. Just, okay, my apologies, or give me my ticket. That's cool. But you don't gotta go through the whole thing. And if you do anything wrong, just either way, just respect it, and then they're gonna leave you alone. Because some of them are already having hard days. Some of them are already freaked out. Some of them are just big dummies. You don't know how they're going to react because they're under pressure.
Human.
And they're human. And they're under pressure. And they don't want to look dumb either. And they might escalate it because they don't want to look dumb. Instead of de-escalating it, they're going to be like, oh, no, I'm a cop. They got to respect me. And they might escalate it. To me, like, you don't have to. But that's just every frame of mind is different.
The consensus is that all cops were guys that got punked. you don't come off as a guy that got punked.
Yeah, I never got punked.
Right? I mean, that's what everybody says. Like, this guy probably got punked when he was in school, and that's why he became a cop, because he wants to punk people now with his badge.
I think there is probably a number of people that are on the job like that, but I think they're everywhere. People that got punked became like the smartest guys, a boss, and now they're bullies. So yeah, you have them everywhere. It's like anything. You have some gangsters were punked too, and they became gangsters, and then they got a little bit of testosterone. Now they think they're badasses because they have homeboys, and they're bullies now, and they're not the real fighters. They think they have backup, so they're gonna be like that. But it's in every world.
That's a good point.
You have it everywhere, bro. Yeah. And to me, it's like, I didn't like cops that were like that, because if I was working patrol and a partner try to hit a guy's cuff, I said, bro, don't hit him. Take off the cuff. You want to fight him? Take off the cuffs and take him in the alley and fight him like a man, because I don't believe in that stuff. And you know, I had a funny story one time. My partner, Cuban dude, we were working. They called us. Hey, we got ready to call MS-13 guy acting crazy. He's drunk. I go, let's go get him. Rico, my buddy, he grew up in that area, so he hated MS. So we get the guy, and then he's drunk. He cuffs him, and Rico's cuffing him tight. And the guy's like, man, I'll fight you, officer. And Rico, oh, you want to fight me? I go, Rico, you want to fight him? Fight him in the alley. Let's go. And we're like, I'm just like, I'm pumped up. I'm laughing because it's comedy to me, because the gangster's like, yeah, I want to fight him. And Rico's all getting fired up. Fuck yeah, I want to fight him too. So I'm just laughing, because I'm thinking, Rico, he letting it get to his head too much. So we go to the alley, and I'm like, all right, Rico, if he beat you up, you let him go home. And if you beat him up, you can go home too, and it's just fair and square. All right. So we're taking off the cuffs. And Rico's getting off his stuff and taking off his badge, his suit, his uniform, his belt. He's all getting ready. And as we take off the cuff, the guy takes off running. He takes off running on us. And we let him go. We just started laughing. I was busting up so hard that we let him make it. Because to me, it's like, he got us.
Yeah.
He got it. It was funny. Rico was pumped up that he was going to get into one-on-one with the dude. He just worked us. To me, it was just comedy. I was just laughing. We let him go.
That's funny, man. Did that happen a lot? Was fights with...
Not all the time, because only if
you hear people say, take off the cuffs. It was fight right now. I would think a guy would want to be tough and say, take these cuffs off. We'll fight right now. And then you take them off.
And some didn't want to.
Yeah,
some will
changes,
punk out.
Right?
Yeah, well, some will back out right away, because they knew. It happened to me once that a guy actually challenged me. Some big old cholo wanted to fight me, because I was in a different area working. He tried to jump a fence in a car show. And I'm like, I put him like, bro, you could have waited till we went by. You didn't have to do it in front of us. Now you're making us look bad. And he was talking crazy. And I'm like, bro, he goes, I'm going to beat you up. I go, you're not going to beat nobody up, bro. But, you know, he started getting too mouthy. So I go, partner, hold my stuff. So I knocked him out and left him. But it was just one of those moments where I was like, you know what? I was going to let it go, but just running your mouth too much. And I'm not that guy. I grew up out here in the neighborhood. So stop it. So it happens. But normally a lot of guys will back out.
Yeah.
They're like, forget it. You know.
Right.
Because but like you said, a lot of couples don't pelear. They don't know how to fight.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, they do think they're brave, because they have the authority, the badge, and unfortunately sometimes they don't know how to humble themselves. That's the worst part, when you can't humble yourself.
Yeah, you're not protecting and serving anymore, right?
No.
You're beating up and serving a different something else.
Exactly. And it's and a lot of it is pride.
So you said you got really bad.
I got really bad.
What does that mean, though?
So what happened was, after Press did this, I lost respect for the department. Again, remember, I came on the job with already authority problems, because I grew up in an environment with my step that was an authority, and he was not someone that could be trusted, because he was always dealing with his addiction, and he was never, when he was drinking or saying he's going to stop certain things, he never kept his word. So to me, I lost that trust and respect for that.
And nobody pre-employment, going through your background, discovered that in you?
No, because I obviously I was
psychologist or whatever.
I was good at either
faking it,
working the system. I was good at it, because I got through that, and like no big deal. I took the psychological test. I took 500 questions and did good. They interviewed me. I did good. I knew what to say. I knew how to answer. Because in the question they'll ask you, do you love your dad? And later on they'll ask you, do you hate your dad? Do you have problems? They'll try to catch you and trick you. I'm like, catch me.
Same question asked different ways.
Yeah. So I already knew the system. I'm like, they're not going to catch me. So when they interviewed me, I was ready for the interview. So obviously, I mean, it even can pass the test. Because even in my second shootout, that's like, finally I got an interview by a psychologist, and I BS'd him so I could go back to work. Now, they don't know that I'm just gun-ho crazy, been in shootouts, and I love it, and I want more. They don't know that. But I let them know what they wanted to hear so I could go back to the field.
That's wild.
And I did. So I'm getting that crazy Perez tells on us, and this happens. So I started formulating a plan to go after I was going to take out a lot of my bosses. My game plan was to take them out. So
are you under any investigation at this time?
I'm on none except that Perez did say something about me to look at one of my shootouts, but they reinvestigated it and it was all clean.
And it's highlighted a lot in shows and in the news and internal affairs. They'll catch you.
Yeah.
Are they little shady too?
I don't know too many of them. I knew one of them, and I believe that they all break the rules. I think they all self-righteous. I think some of them are self-righteous. I really haven't met one that's not sinful. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean? So
but they probably have their favorites, right?
But
they probably
they have their favorites. But at the same time, I feel that a lot of them will compromise too to get the cop because they have their own agenda and vendetta to get a cop, and they're like, no, you're not supposed to do it. You're supposed to look at the case and see if this guy's being real.
They probably have numbers too.
Yeah, and they have numbers. So to me, it's like the prosecutor too in court. They want to file on somebody, the prosecutor too. And to me, because I've been through a whole court system, prosecutors also just want to file. I'm like, dude, you don't even care about that person that's going through the system. He might be innocent, or something might be going on, and the cop might be the guilty ones over here. And you want to prosecute an innocent guy, but you just want the prosecution. You want the case. And to me, I lost respect for the system totally.
Yeah, that the system seems like it's set up for failure.
But it's because individuals, bro, the individual in the positions, every individual, if you put the right individual with good values, good morals, a good motive, a
good heart coming
in,
in,
a good heart, they're gonna do right, and everything's gonna work out the right way. But when you put the wrong people in these positions, it falls apart.
Yeah, because the authority itself, it'll corrupt a good person that comes in there, right? So there's it needs to be a lot of checks and balances. You begin to abuse that authority.
No accountability. People don't. They're above the law nowadays. It's been going on forever. Above the law, people above the law. And again, this is to me the 100% because I was above the law too. 100%. Because once I lost respect for the authority, I said, there is no authority. I'm gonna do me. There is no one to give account to, and I didn't know or believe in God anymore at that time. So I was like, I'm gonna do me, and I believe if there is a God, He ain't doing nothing about nothing. So I gotta take care of myself and my family at all costs. I don't care. So
there's nothing more dangerous than a man that doesn't care and will do anything to provide for his family.
And I got weapons. I got weapons training, and I have and at that time I had all kinds of 308 sniper rifles at my house. I had everything. And I was like, I'm ready for anything or anyone. And I'm already like mad thinking about bad stuff about my bosses. And so I started recruiting other officers that are mad at the department. They're going through something and say, look, between you and I got some connections. They want me to collect the debt. And it's big money. And to me, if I told them, I'm going to do this because if it's worth it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put my life. I don't care. If it's worth it, I'm down. And I said, but if you don't want to be part of this conversation, never happened. So I recruited the guys that were down, and then I started little by little other officers. And I met with the guy that was gonna give me a first house to hit. So because I had informers that would tell me, hey, the gangsters are making about $1 million a month on dope, on weed, and extortions. And I'm like, $1 million. And I said, I'm gonna rob these dudes. In my head, I just thought about it. I said it, but I didn't know exactly how I was gonna go about it yet. And I just put it into action all of a sudden when I got a hold of my buddy. He hooked it up with a house to hit. We hit this house, and it was like, I was wearing the academy training, the Department of Self-Defense and Tactics. I had access to the police cars in the academy. So the captain's car was there, and I didn't like him. I thought he was targeting me because I came from Rampart Crash. So I already had issues with him, and he didn't know that, but I didn't like him. And he's a chief now, McDonald's.
Oh, wow.
He's a chief for LAPD. He left to sheriff's department and came back, now he's a chief. I mean, I forgive everybody. Ever since I got saved, I forgive everybody. But in the beginning, during that time I wasn't saved, I was like, I'm gonna get you too. So I would take his car. He didn't know I would take his car and I'd hit a house robbed the house for about $1 million ago.
In the captain's car.
In the captain's car.
Wow.
I hit the house. I stole about $1 million cash on some dope house. I took 15 kilos of cocaine. I put the dope aside so I could have people sell it for me, and then I ended up paying my worker with the money, and it just got addicting. It just got like
$1 million,
cash.
15 kilos, which who knows how much that
Back
was
then,
worth?
yeah,
A ton.
Yeah.
Right? A ton of money.
yeah,
And in the captain's car.
in the captain's car.
I mean, if you talk about somebody that
I didn't care.
he didn't care, so
Mhm.
you could potentially have the LAPD come down on you because you're obviously dirty now, and you potentially whoever you're robbing
Yeah,
and wherever they got their dope from, right?
Yeah.
Coming after you
Yeah.
now.
and I was like, bring it. And I was like, I don't care. I'll go on the shootout. I don't care, and I'll go down in the shootout.
And what's going on at home during this time? Is it?
I have a at that time I had a girl with she's a cop and I have kids with her. I was a womanizer. I wasn't faithful to her. I was doing my own thing, living my own world, living my own life, doing whatever I wanted
So
to
you're
do.
just
I was taking in the daytime. I was a good dad, taking my kids, hung out with my kids, daytime things with my kids. But at night, the monster came out to go do my dirt.
so you're one of those guys.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys.
Right.
I take care of my kids.
Able to be somebody in front of your kids and
Everybody
hey,
thought.
let's go to the game. We'll do this. We'll go for ice cream, whatever you
Yep.
want. But at night, it's just
The monster.
another person.
Yeah.
Man.
Jekyll and Hyde. So I do that. I make sure I pick up my kids, go hang out with them, do things with them, and make sure they knew that I'm there for them as a dad. Not thinking about this, how crazy I am. That if I do get killed, they're not going to have a dad. Or if I go down, they're not going to have a dad. I wasn't thinking like that. I was thinking I'm not going to get caught. If I do get caught, I'm going to shoot it out.
Looking back at that, Ruben, are you think now that you went through all that, and we'll get to more of the story, but I'm just thinking, like, you got to be a little crazy,
A lot crazy.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's nuts.
But you're so demonized and so deceived by the enemy that you don't even think there's anything wrong with you. That's what's crazy part.
That's even worse.
I went to a witch, and it's in my book, my testimony book. I went to a witch. So I went to a witch because the guys that worked for me, they were all connected. They were all like big time connected. And so they would give me my information, and they're going to get paid. So like if I get a ton of weed, I'm going to give them 300 pounds for free. And I'm going to come up and move my weed out there with people working, gangsters working for me, family members. I had cops. So everybody's working for me. And I was building my little crew thinking I got this solid crew and ain't nobody can stop us. I was just looking at my own idea of what I wanted to do with this.
Wow.
It was crazy. So I went. This guy that would work for me, he would always tell me, I went to my bruja, and my bruja told me not to go with you tonight, but you guys are good. I go, man, I don't believe in all that stuff. I don't care about your bruja. And I go, you're gonna go with us or what? No, my bruja told me not to. I don't care about your bruja. I don't believe in that stuff. And then
He's over here rubbing the egg on his stomach.
Yeah.
And the chicken.
doing his limpias. So he ends up bugging me, let's go to my bruja. But I didn't believe in it, so I went with him anyways, just to see what she was about. Because this guy's...
So you opened the door.
I opened the door, yeah. So I show up, and she reads my palm, and she throws the cards and reads the cartas. She goes, somebody put a curse on you, a muerte, entierro. And I'm like, I didn't think about nothing. I didn't believe her. She said, you're going to get a bad surgery. You're going to be in prison. I can help you. I ignored her. I didn't listen to her. But I didn't realize by going to her, I already opened the door to demonization. That already opened up more doors to more curses. But even though what she told me was accurate, because a witch did curse me from when I was a cop, and I'll tell you that story. So there I am. I ignore her. I leave. I do my thing. I'm out there doing my dirt. Later on, I get injured at work, and I got to get a surgery, shoulder surgery. Really supposed to be a easy arthroscopic surgery. And I wake up 5 hours later with 28 staples. Bad surgery. And I forget about that witch and everything. And of course, later on, I get caught. I get busted. I'm in prison. When I get saved, finally, I start reading the Bible, learning about God, everything. And some pastor visits me, telling me, "Hey, I got this good book you should read on Derek Prince, Thou Shalt Cast Out Demons." And okay, I read it. I order it and read it. So I read the book, and it tells you how to break curses. So I read the book, and I went to the back, and I prayed the prayer. I'm sitting in the cell. I have a cellmate on the top bunk. I'm in the lower bunk, and I'm in the San Diego prison jail. I'm waiting to find waiting for my first case to get sentenced on it. And I'm sitting there, and then I do the prayer, and I broke the curse. I felt something come out of me. And that was like the first experience I had with something demonic, supernatural demonic stuff. But then it also gave me this comfort to know that the power of God, the name of Jesus, is the ultimate authority. And being a cop, knowing about power, and I got hooked. I go, whoa! I felt something like just leave my body, but I go, whoa! This is real. This is not a joke. So I got so caught up into wanting to cast out demons. A lot of people in prison when I was right there.
I mean, did that explain it for you? I mean, why you were
so crazy,
not so enough crazy, and just the hate and the disregard for getting caught, anything like that.
So it didn't enough because I still needed more clarity, and God knew how to deal with me because God knows that I was in San Diego because I got arrested in 2001.
Okay, wait, how did you finally get caught?
Okay, so I'm doing this operation and stuff for 2 years. I'm hitting houses, robbing, coming up.
So 2 years straight, you're
robbing the cars from the academy, taking the lieutenant's car. I had keys from a bunch of different shops.
What do you do when you get $1 million of drug money?
Well, I'll pay some of the guys and I'll put it away. I'll either stash it or start laundering it pretty much laundering it.
Where is that buried at right now?
I don't got no more.
I'm just kidding.
I wish I had it. I wish it was somewhere. No, to be honest, everything that you accumulate dirty, you
got to get rid of it.
You're
fast,
gonna lose
right?
it. No, you're gonna lose it because when I got arrested, I lost everything because I got robbed by people. People took off to Mexico. My ex robbed me. A lot of stuff happened, and God humbled me because I did have a lot, and I was making millions. But then when I got busted,
how are you spending the money?
I wasn't. I was kind of laundering some of it to buy my house, to launder here, launder there, build my house up, and just try to put money in a business here and there. And then stashing some and having people buy more, like say it's dope money, so it's dope, and they're moving dope over here, and tripling it.
And you're never afraid that somebody's gonna give you up.
I always.
How did you have that much?
In the back of my head, I kind of felt, and I thought that I have to eliminate these dudes anyways before it happens. So I was planning to eliminate individuals.
Because we see that all the time. We see these mafia movies. And,
yes.
And it gets to a point where it just gets so big, and you get so paranoid that you're like, okay, this guy's gonna. Did you ever get paranoid?
I started thinking about certain individuals because my cousin brought the wrong people into the group that I didn't want nobody else into the group. That I started sensing, oh, this guy's gonna be trouble. I have to wipe him out, get rid of him. So I was planning to get rid of him, and another individual. So yeah, there was a lot of plans. The day I got arrested, so like 2001, my cousin and his friend invited me to meet a Colombian cartel guy in San Diego. They're gonna buy 10 kilos off this guy. They had been partying with this guy for weeks in a yacht, and they're introducing to these guys a dope. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna give you cheap deals, good deals. I'm not involved in this stuff. I don't even know these guys are doing this. The day before they're gonna do it, they asked me for some money to borrow $100,000. So I'm like, I don't think I want to do that. But no, we're gonna pay you back the same day. We already have buyers. And my pride got in my way. So he goes, hey, the guy wants to meet you because he's got a job for you, collecting the debt or training his guys. And something told me yes, something told me no. But of course, the pride won. Because the back of my head, I didn't do dumb stuff like that. But I trusted. I kind of thought my cousin was dealing with these people, and he knew who he was dealing with. In my mind, I kind of first questioned it, and I kind of felt I think whatever he's telling me, it might be legit.
Because that's a whole nother level, right?
A different level, yeah.
Yeah.
So I ended up going, and I met the guy. I was leaving from the yacht, from the pier in Chula Vista, and they did the transaction. And it was a DEA sting operation against my cousin and his friend. I happened to be there, so I get arrested with them. Right away, I thought they set me up. Right away, I'm thinking about taking them all out. And the day they got me, the 4 guys that went with me had already been telling on me, on my stuff. And that's how they opened it.
Including your cousin?
Including my cousin. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So they all were already snitching on me. The 4 guys.
But why were they snitching on you, though? If they were making good money, if they were connected.
They're scared. They're just people. The true color comes out on people, and they were not really. My cousin brought them to me, introduced me to the guys, and they really didn't do too much work with me. But I think they just panicked and got scared at the last second when they got busted. That people, you don't see the true colors of people until they're in the fire.
Yeah.
And they all flipped on me, including my cousin.
Wow.
So all 4 of them told on me, and one of them was my buddy too. I trained with this guy martial arts, and he was with them, and I didn't invite him either, but he was a driver for one of the guys, and he also got busted. He same day he's already snitching, so all 4 of them were already telling. So instead of just taking the lumps for 10 kilos, which I told the guys, I didn't know I was in the cage, and I told all of them, hey, they asked for 10 kilos. Take your lumps, man up. All of us, you guys all man up for your 10 keys. But I didn't know they were already telling on me, on my stuff. So they had 2 indictments. So they were holding off. They wanted to get more cops.
Wow.
So they didn't care about the 10 kilos. They just wanted to get it, hold us on that, and then get everybody to snitch and try to get everybody, all the cops that were working, including myself, on the other.
It's going to look great on their record.
And that's what it did. It was going to promote them and everything else. So at this time, I'm heated. I'm mad. But I'm not thinking about everything that's happening other than I'm thinking revenge and payback. And I'm thinking about suicide mission. I'm thinking that, you know what, I'm going to just take everybody out. But then they put me in the shoe. They separate me for 3 months. And they're all in the different, general population, but in the building, like in MCC San Diego. I'm in the shoe, and I'm just getting newspapers and reading everything about my case. And I'm starting to freak out because I'm seeing things that nobody should know, and they're snitching. I'm like, oh, man, everybody's snitching. So I don't know what's happening. I'm just, and I'm not saved yet. Well, then they put a guy in the cell who's a Christian. And we start talking, and the more I talk, the more he realized I'm jacked up. And he starts telling me, bro, there's a way out of this, man. And he starts preaching the gospel to me. Honestly, that was like the best news I've ever had. And the power of forgiveness is so powerful when a person has never experienced forgiveness or given forgiveness or knows what forgiveness is about. When you hear and understand God's forgiveness towards you, the grace that he's offering you, and just the fullness of salvation, that thing will break you down.
Right.
If you're a knucklehead and you're a dummy and you don't accept it, then that's on you, man, because God's reaching out to you. That's God saying, hey, I'm right here for you. I know what you're going through. And when that happened to me.
Had anybody ever told you about Jesus or the gospel?
No, I never had.
So that was like the first time.
That was the first time.
Wow.
So when it happened, it was God's timing too, because the day I got arrested, I was supposed to kill 3 people. So God saved me from my arrest. That arrest saved me from that. And then when I'm locked up, then God puts that person in my cell to preach to me. And I did the prayer, and right when I did the sinner's prayer, I really felt the peace and presence of God. And it, you know, from being still an ugly monster, I felt the presence. I felt God's love and presence that I never experienced from nothing to no one, that it made me have this big old smile. I was excited, happy, and I knew I had prison time to do. I knew all this was going on still.
So you were still getting ready to go to trial.
Everything.
You knew everybody turned their back on you.
Yeah.
They burned you.
Everybody burned me.
And you still have a smile on your face.
I still have a smile on my face.
Crazy.
And then they moved me from the shoe after 3 months to general population. And now I'm asking God, okay, I know I'm an ex-cop. I want to be in general population because I want to in fellowship with other believers, because I want to learn more about you. I want to know you, and I want to interact.
But that's dangerous.
In my mind, I didn't care. That's how just the crazy guy I used to be. I was like, I'm gonna do me. So I show up to the yard the second day. The Sureños was from Florencia, hits me up with his 2 torpedoes. He goes, hey bro, you can't be here. You're a cop. I go, I'm not a cop. I'm a criminal like you guys. So they go, you gotta go to shoot. So right away I got on my guard. I said, let's go to the shoot. And all 3 of us, let's go inside the cell and let's fight. And we're going to shoot together, because I'm not going by myself. I went into the flesh.
The trend of Ruben being crazy continues.
Right there. So I'm like, right away at the enemy got the monster came out again. I'm like, let's go. But then here's how God works. Raul, his boss from Florencia out there, is someone I know from the street. I should train him in boxing.
Oh, wow.
His name is Chief. And I said, you know Chief? He goes, yeah, that's my homeboy. He's at my house right now. Call him up and ask him about me. Call him. They left me alone.
Wow.
And I still stay in touch with Raul. Chief died already, but Raul's in Mexico, and I still stay in touch with him.
Wow.
And then we became buddies, and I would pray with him, pray for him, because he was heavy duty back in the days. He was heavy duty, but God starts breaking people down. So anyway, he's been home. He's in Mexicali, I think. So I got to be in that yard for 2 years until I got sentenced to my first indictment. So I started doing a lot of Bible studies. I started meeting pastors, coming down and praying for me. I got baptized in the Holy Spirit. I started seeing people get healed and delivered. I started seeing a lot of stuff. God exposed me to a lot of stuff early on. But here I am thinking I'm already good because I'm thinking I'm serving God. I mean, I didn't care about my case. I knew God had my back. I left it in God's hands. I said, Father, I know I'm going to get time.
What were you facing? What were you facing? What were
At first, 100 years because I was going to go to trial. And I was going to fight at first. But then God humbled me and said, you're guilty towards me. So I bowed down and I told God.
Ruben once again wants to fight the whole world.
Yeah, I wanted to fight the system. I wanted to fight the corruption. I said, no, forget these guys. My co-defendants lied. So I'm trying to think like that. And then when I felt like God saying, you're guilty towards me, I bowed down and I told my attorney, hey, check it out. Tell the prosecutor, the FBI guys, I'm not going to fight. I'm going to try. I'm going to plead guilty. I'm going to plead guilty. I'm going to tell them myself. I take responsibility, but I'm not going to tell these cops in Rampart crash. Nothing. I'm just going to own up to myself. And they're like, cool, right? So they respected that. So there I am. Still, I'm doing this, and I'm just like thinking I'm helping everybody, and I'm helping other inmates and doing Bible studies with them. And I get sentenced to my first indictment, 15 years, and then they moved me to San Bernardino County Jail, SHU. I stayed there 5 years in the SHU, lockdown, 23-hour lockdowns. I didn't know how long I was going to be there, but I knew that I knew God, and I knew that He had my back. I knew He had a reason for me being there because I told Him, I said, first of all, you're bigger than the feds. You're bigger than the FBI. You're bigger than the prosecutor. You're bigger than the judges. So if I'm in here, it's because you want me here, not because they run it, nothing, because you don't run it like you run it. So I said, why am I here? What is it you're going to teach me here? Because I don't want to go in circles, and I want to learn the lessons because I know obviously there's something you want to teach me. So I was there.
So 23 hours a day lockdown.
Lockdown, yeah. Stuck in a single cell, little size of a bathroom.
So for a guy that gets to run the streets and roam the streets freely and do whatever he wants in his area, now you're
stuck.
4x8 cell?
Yeah, 4x8 cell. And I'm stuck. And if I would be looking, it starts closing in on me, I would hear God says, wait on me.
Oh.
So when I would say, okay, I'm going to wait on you, Lord. And I would do that, and I just chill. So then I started seeing God move in my life because then there was 13 cells. Every cell had somebody in there. Aryan Brother, Nazi Lowrider, Mexican Mafia, NF. They were all in there for different reasons, coming from the state prison to either court, but they were all there. And these to me are bullies to me, right? So here goes God breaking me down and humbling me because every time somebody would trigger me, I want to fight. Boom. And I'm thinking not fight, I'm going to break somebody's neck. I'm going to do some jiu-jitsu. I'm going to do this. I'm already thinking some bad stuff. And I'm like, Father, forgive me. That's it. What's going on with me? Why do I still have this evilness inside me? The evilness of the dirty cop, the evilness of this violent person still comes out. And I don't know. So then that's what God started doing. He started making me get to a place where I got desperate. So I had to reach out to professionals because I was getting mad and I wanted to fight, dude. Sometimes I'll tell somebody, I'm gonna get the gate open. I'm gonna get you, and I'm already like, and they're freaking out because I'm talking crazy to them, and they're thinking this guy is nuts, man. I have the Bible.
I think you would freak me out, man, because you're not the biggest guy, right? I'm sure you had a little bit more size than you back then, but I mean, not the tallest guy, but I mean, if a guy, it's like Joe Pesci and
right.
and Goodfellas, you know what I mean? It's like that's the guy you don't want to mess with.
Right.
Crazy.
And I'm trying to be good, and here I am. I tell you, I'm gonna put my Bible down, and I'm just like, watch, and I'm like, Father,
so you went
forgive
from,
me.
let me put my badge down.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my Bible down.
And I'm gonna put my Bible down.
Not that, Father, forgive me, Father. What do I? And then I felt God one time say, "You're not being honest with me. You still got issues." So one day I just started. I reached out to these professional Christian psychologists. They came to see me, and they started praying and working on my unresolved childhood stuff. They started digging deep, and I started praying for the inner healing trauma, inner child stuff. I started experiencing God healing me inside. I started going through letters of forgiveness. I wrote letters of forgiveness to people to forgive me, but I started forgiving people. The list of people I need to forgive. So I started working on myself. It took a lot of work, a lot of praying. And then I had to be honest with myself and God. I had to tell God, I still want to kick that guy's butt. But I know I'm not supposed to. But show me why I still feel this way. So I just started being raw with God. I wasn't holding back because I was keeping it inside. And then when that happened, God just said, be real with me. You're lying to me. Because it's not God. You don't know. He knows everything. So I started healing.
That's funny.
I started healing. So I started getting all these books from my pastors on inner healing, deliverance, everything, you name it. And I started studying because I'm in a single cell, 23-hour lockdowns.
That's all you can do.
23, 24-hour lockdowns. And I study, work out, pray. So then I started doing Bible studies on the tier. So I'll get out on the tier and do like every Sunday morning, I'll stand up and tell the guy, look, guys, these two brothers here, Aaron brother, NF and White Fence, they're both there for 2 murders each. I said, they're my Christian brothers, so they want Bible study. So I got music. I'm going to pass out the sheets. And you guys could join me and sing if you don't want to. But I have my hour. Instead of going to the shower, I'm just going to bird bath. I'm going to get up here. I'm going to do a little 1-hour Bible study. And then you guys could do your own thing. But it's my hour. So they respected it. So I got out. I did the worship. And I'll do Bible study for everybody.
Nice.
I said, you guys ain't going anywhere. You got 1 hour. And I was planting seeds to the killers in it.
You know what I going back to you know, you get saved, but you still have some deep things in your life, right? And I think within the church, it's almost taboo to
admit it,
and then to really seek out help. I need professional help. I need a Christian psychologist. I need to go get counseling. A lot of people think, you know, within the church, I think the church kind of created like this thing where no. God's going to 100% deliver you from all that. But there's a lot of people that have problems that are saved, that love God, but they need to get some things fixed in their life.
A professional that knows how to help them.
Yes. And I think that's the thing. I think that we, as a church, we kind of, we
water it down.
Yeah, we water it down, or we think, yes, of course, Jesus is can heal anything, and help anybody, but he still wants you to do some of the work too, and address the issues. And I think we've failed as a church by not making that a priority and not saying, yes, get some help. Because a lot of times, even like there's times me and my wife, we counsel marriage couples, right, and it's coaching. Yes, it's not professional help,
right.
But there are times when I go, this is above my pay grade,
right.
You guys need some professional help. I'm going to recommend that you guys go and seek out a licensed professional counselor, right?
Yes. So 100% what you're saying, a lot of people don't want to talk about it, but I'm the kind of person that opens my mouth because I don't agree with a lot of stuff in the churches. A lot of them are watered down, and it's sad, but God put me in prison. I put myself in prison, but God used me in prison to help a lot of inmates that were going through a lot of stuff. And I got to see God heal a lot of people. Deliverance, inner healing, trauma, addictions, you name it. I got to see God. But there's a way to do it, and a way to teach it, and a way to walk a guy through that and connect him to God so God could do all the work, because it's supernatural. But if you don't have a person that understands that it's not just about stick to the word, do this. The answers are in the word.
Right.
But if you don't, if I give you a engine, and I say take it apart and put it back together, but I don't teach you how to do it,
and I just pray that God helps me to put this engine back together.
Yeah, God uses us as vessels. We are the body of Christ. He teaches us. He put me through this training, because first he healed me, so that he put me through the training so I could help other people. Because I got to see people in prison who were going through depression, suicidal, PTSD in different areas, addiction, people that were jacked up. I got to see God heal them. And I have real testimonies of guys that were there who already wrote books. And I can give you names of books that they wrote after God healed them through the ministry. He used me to pray for them. God healed them.
Right.
And now they wrote books. People that were atheists, who were not saved, who were suicidal, who were ex-cops in prison, or just different people. And now God is using them in the street with their master's degree now, helping other individuals. But at one time, no matter who talked to them, chaplains, pastor will come in and see them. They could not help them because they were not trained and equipped. And yeah, they're going to tell you, brother, let me pray for you. Oh, brother, here's a word. No, you could say, brother, Father, here. No, the problem is he has to also understand what he has to do. He has unresolved unforgiveness in his heart, or he opened the door through a curse. He opened the door through a generational curse. Something opened that door, and it has to be addressed as a detective, like me, an ex-cop. You got to dig in there and be a detective and find out what's really going on. The Holy Spirit's going to show you, Father, what's wrong with my brother? Why is my brother behaving like this? What is going on with my brother? The Holy Spirit will show you, but you have to ask and you have to dig. And then the guy that has the training is going to help you. Because God's going to use them because he's just going to pray for you and God's going to do the work. But if you don't know how to do it, it's not going to happen. A lot of churches don't understand the system, don't know it. And I've been to a lot of churches, they don't have these programs. So I deal with the people on the side, people that are already in church for 20, 30 years. They're coming to me who are also pastors and saying, man, I didn't know about these tools, this training, this stuff. Oh, my goodness, I've been stuck in this thing for so long, and all I had to do is understand that this is how God can heal me.
Right.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, there's some there. I mean, like you, I'm sure, probably the hardest person, one of the hardest people, was to forgive your stepfather, right?
Yeah.
If you don't, you come to God, you're saved. That is the only representation of a father that you have.
Right.
Not only affects you in your heart, in your mind, in your emotions, but it also can affect you with your relationship with God,
with
the Father,
God, because
right?
he's my father, and I
Yes.
can't see him as my good, loving, perfect father because I see him with the damaged, blurred vision as my stepdad. And God heals that because God despises the fact that that's happening to human beings that are broken. That's why it says he heals the brokenhearted, because anything that's in the way of the flow of the Holy Spirit inside us, anything that's in the way of that is keeping us from connecting with God, experiencing real love of God. So what melts a human being is God's love. What humbles and changes a human being like us is God's love. Because if you never had love, you don't know what it's like until you experience real love. If all you always had is hate, bitterness, all this violence growing up, you don't really know what love is. And then you try to disguise it by being with a girl, thinking that's love. That's just lust, and that's just selfishness. And then when finally God zaps you and hits you with his love, you're like, ooh, this is love.
That's what it's about.
And then when you meet him, then you want that all the time with him. But then you know how to give it to the people. So when you see people, you don't see them the way everybody else sees them because you already experienced real love from the Father. Once upon a time, you didn't have it. You had hatred, bitterness, violence. You're a killer. And now you have God's love, and you're like, I don't see that person the way you see him, bro. I see him different. God showed me. Because the way God sees me, has loved me, I see him that way too. So I don't agree with this person. I don't agree with you, bro. Even though you're in church, you still got your hurts. You still have your issues. So you're still self-righteous. You're still saying something about that other person. But God don't see him that way.
Wow.
So why do you see him like that? Because you still have your stuff going on in your heart.
Right.
Because you haven't met really God's love because you're still blocking it. And you're in the church and you're a pastor or you did. It's your own issues haven't been addressed. You've been too afraid to be real and say, hey, I'm a pastor, but I got issues.
Right. I think that's the biggest thing too. We get saved, and the longer you're saved, the harder it is to admit something's wrong, right? So you get
honesty.
You get a little status. Maybe you're in ministry, you're doing things, and then it's almost better when you expose it. I have this issue. Like it's a relief off of you to say, now I can work on it.
Yes.
But until you say, this is bothering me, this is an issue in my life, I have a problem, it's always going to hinder you a little bit because you're not allowing anybody to help you or really know the real you, or you're not confessing it. When you confess it,
God's going to work on you. So put it this way. It's like a cop. And I bring up a cop. A cop helps people. Supposedly, they think they're supposed to be helpers. But then they don't get help because they're afraid to ask for help. They're afraid. A pastor helps people. But then he needs help, but then he's afraid to ask for help because he's a helper. In his mind, the pride's in the way, oh, no, we all need help. If I get strengthened and nourished by God and then I get the counseling from people that are also professionals, they're just going to help me get stronger and better, more equipped so I could help more people. But at the same time, less issues in me so I could see clearer to help you. And I could hear from him better too. It's a connection. And the connection he brings that connection, but of course he has to work through us. But a lot of people, what happens when you have all these issues, you're not hearing from him enough and you're not allowing the flow of the Holy Spirit to go there because everything's in the way.
right. And what does the Bible say? Draw near to God, and He will draw near to you. It's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't say God's drawing near to you, and then you draw near to Him.
Right.
No, He's saying, I'm here.
Waiting for
You gotta come to me first.
Makes a connection. And he's about relationships. He's about reconciliation. He's about forgiveness. I've experienced God's presence in my life so good. When those 5 years in the shoe, that's when I got to experience God's awesome love because here I am in the shoe. Already been a Christian for a few years. I still want to fight somebody. I still want to crack somebody. And I'm saying, and then I feel God's presence saying, I love you. I'm working with you. I'm helping you. I'm not condemning you, but I have the way to help you. But I need you to love that person the way I love them.
So God's using the shoe to refine you.
To refine me.
You're in the fire.
I'm in the fire for 5 years in there. And honestly, I'm grateful for the process right there because I was able to experience his presence, that intimacy, and then go out of there after 5 years. I got sentenced to my second indictment. I got the 18 years total, and I already been down 7 years, so I had whatever left of 7 years. I think I had like 9 years to go, and I get sent to the Arizona for 2 years, and I'm out there.
That's a federal?
A federal prison, yeah. I'm preaching the gospel. I'm in the yard. The Sureños have a baseball team. They know my past. They know about me, and they want me to play in their team.
Well, that's what I'm saying. How does the ex-cop survive in jail? God.
Because God says He's going to put your enemies at peace with you. And I take Him to His word. And you know what? Every yard I hit, I was left alone, respected, and people left me alone. They knew, but I was straight up with everybody. Yeah, I was an ex-cop from Rampart. Yeah, that was me. I go, do we have beef? Did I do something to you? Did I? Oh, let's handle it, bro.
I'm sure you ran across some people that knew some people that you set up.
Pretty much, but I still confronted them. I said, bro, did I do something to you? I don't know who your homeboy is, and I didn't do nothing. I was straight up with everybody.
Because there's nowhere to run.
Nowhere to run. I'm here. I'm gonna do my time. But if you have a problem, my goal, I tell them, my goal is to bring people to Jesus. But but my goal is not to fight. I'm not afraid to fight. I'm not afraid to kill somebody. But I don't want to. I said I'm a peaceful dude. I have God in my life, so my goal is to bring people to Jesus. Simple as that. And the thing is, God gave me favor because I was born in Mexico, but I'm a citizen from here too. But the funny part is, I would show up to the yard and the paisas would, hey, ¿dónde eres? De Jalisco. And the paisas would bring me in and I'll tell them the truth straight up. And right away, they'll be cool with me and I'll tell them I'm Cristiano, but this is why I'm here. And they left me alone and they have my back. Like 700 paisas to 50 sureños in the yards, they have my back.
That's wild.
So I was doing my own thing, training people for money, because I would train people for money, but then I'll use my training to bring them to the scriptures. Because once I'm training, they get to hear about how God's working in my life. And then little by little, hey, Ruben, can you pray for my family? Sure, buddy. And there's shot callers from the yards. Wow. And let me show you scripture, bro, because I'm going to teach you how to pray for yourself too, because I don't want you to be relying on me all the time. You need to learn your own faith with God too. So I let him give him little scriptures. Look, God says to ask, blah, blah. I give him, and then go on the low. So that's how I started getting the hardcore dudes, because they'll come to me for training. And through that, I'll hook them for scripture or something that God wanted me to get them.
Wow.
And I was being sneaky about it, because come on down, I'll train you.
It's so crazy that you had all these things, aspects of your life, where you grew up, right? The different neighborhoods you grew up. So you knew people from the neighborhood. Because of your boxing,
right?
God used that, the jiu-jitsu,
all the martial arts,
and then you're a cop. You kind of know these police officers. You know how they operate, and then you get to the yard, and all these, I would say, skills that you learned out here are kind of being used in there. And on top, now you have Jesus.
Yes.
So you have this whole
powerful
ball of experience,
yes,
and things that happen to you that really nobody can come at you from this way and try to. You
can't okie-dokie me.
Yeah, you know the game this side. You know the game of the COs. You know the game of this
gangsters, the cartels, everybody.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. God used that for His purpose.
Yeah. So they moved me from that year to Herlong. I was there 2 years. I'm preaching and getting to know more people, helping more people, and then I got moved to Mendota. Same thing, working with people. And then they moved me to Texas. Mendota's right here 4 hours away. Then they moved me to Texas. And then in Texas, I'm there 2 years. Like, same thing, the chaplain hired me. I'm working for the chaplain. I started doing more study material, and I'm working with other inmates. Excuse me. So I'm able to counsel other people in there, like the hardcore cases. And then that's when I started seeing God heal a bunch of people in there. And then I moved to Colorado. And I stopped at Oklahoma, Victorville, and then Colorado, and I stayed in Colorado before I came home on the bus.
What was the total amount of years?
16 total.
16 total years.
Yeah, but God used it, broke it up, because I was in different spots. But God used me everywhere I went like an evangelist. Wow. And I was all about it, and I was like, wherever you got me, Father, I'm still doing my time.
How tough is it? What was it on your children? So how many you have?
I have 5 children. Well, 6
six
now. A newborn, like she's about 5 months right now. My baby. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, but my older kids, honestly, we stayed active, involved. But I know they had their hard time, but they weren't gonna tell me. I wrote letters. We talked. They visit me when they could. They're old. They're grown kids. They're doing super good. They're all like, some of them are married with kids. Some of them they have good careers. They all went to school. I'm so grateful for them, and they're saved. My kids
Awesome.
are saved,
That's
all of
awesome.
them. So to me, I believe 100% the power of praying for them is key. Because I would
Right.
stick to my guns and pray for them every day. And I wasn't going to be a bully dad while I'm in there trying to run them and control them because they're going to just push me and tell me, get out of my face, you're in prison, what are you going to do?
Right.
So I just tried to be the best dad I could do while behind bars. Coming home, trying to build a relationship with them. It's been a process. We're always growing. We're always growing as a family because we hang out. I interact with all my kids. Some of my kids want to work out with me all the time, so we work out. I invite them to some of my when I go to church and share in churches, and they invite them sometimes. But we're still growing together,
Right.
Because they still have their other issues that they haven't overcame, and we love each other. But I can still see that there's things that God still has to heal in them, because they're not gonna tell me everything, the resentment or whatever they were holding on to. But I told them straight up, whatever resentment or anger you have for me, let's talk about it. Let's get it out of the open, because I know I was away. I know that you didn't have me. I know that you're probably mad, or let's talk about it.
So at one time you were kind of in their shoes, right?
Yeah.
You were the victim,
I was a victim.
and now you're the the person that brought kind of the trauma,
To them, yes.
to their life.
Yeah.
Has that being the victim at one time, has that helped you in helping them understanding them?
Yeah, but at the same time, I told them this. I said, you know what? God still saved you guys, because had I been home with you guys without being saved, I was going to be an evil dad and a monster dad. So you guys were going to probably hate me. Right now, the good thing is you didn't get those traumas from me. You might have got those traumas from me not being around, but the good thing is I'm here. We could still work on all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah, but just even growing up without Christ in the beginning, when I was trying to raise them, I was trying to do things different from how my dad was with me, and I was trying to teach him something. I mean, I didn't know how to. I loved them my way, but I was not. I guess obviously I wasn't gonna know how to love them God's way, but I was gonna do what I could, what I knew.
So you're away 16 years. You get out, a lot's changed.
Everything's
Right?
changed.
Everything's changed. How do you prepare for getting out? I mean, it's a whole new world.
Yeah.
And it's a whole new world where you don't have a career no more. You don't have a family anymore.
Right.
You're how am I going to survive? What am I going to do?
Right.
Your whole life you only knew a good portion of your life. You only knew one way to do stuff out here, right? How do you prepare for that?
The main thing that I did in there is focus on, like I said, my issues in the area where I could get angry, trying to do something dumb, or just I focus on myself in the area where I wanted to stand strong in my faith with God and trust God. So I felt that I'm going to prepare all the things that I know that would make me fall backwards while I'm in here. And I focus a lot on things that had to do with, revenge, pride. So I focus on forgiving people, letting things go, trusting God. The main thing is I develop my faith in a way where I know that that God has my back, that I could trust Him. I got to come home to trust Him and live in that way that I could basically, because while I was in there, I got to experience a lot of God's move in my life. It helped me to trust Him. So my main thing was I got to prepare myself, just keep trusting Him. So when I got out, I knew He was going to provide. I knew He was going to open the door. I knew He was going to either get me to where I'm supposed to be in the ministry at the right time. I knew that when I get home, somehow, some way, He's going to open the door for me to make my money, finances. And He did. He started to work with me in areas where I started getting invited to speak, or also training people again, counseling. I started getting invites, and then I started I started seeing God kind of prepare me. But even getting home, He still had a lot to do more work in me.
Right.
It wasn't over. It was like I still got 16. I did 16 years.
A new challenge.
16 years is a lot of time to get out. And then the years, I did like 7 years total in the shoe. I did 5 years there. I did 4 months, 5 months. It all connects to like 7 years total. So that isolation is isolation. So I was gonna come home with some type of unresolved issues still.
Right.
Like especially with the women stuff, because
That's a new trauma.
that's a new trauma. So I had to work on that, and that's why I connected with my Christian psychology. When I came home, I started working with them. But then I knew that because once upon a time I wasn't a loyal man. I was never faithful to no girl. That I wanted to do all that the right way. and be with the right person, be married, and live a good life, and not go backwards again. So I knew that I had to come home to start working on things in that area too. So that's what I started working on. And everything has been. I have to stay focused. I have to have a game plan, and I have to believe that it's in God's timing. But I'm doing my part. I got to keep doing my part.
Wow, what a wild story, man.
Yeah.
What a wild. Do you feel like you've lived like multiple lives? I mean, from a kid with trauma, and to the boxing,
athletics,
and then the police, and then crime, and then prison. And then Jesus, and then now ministry and helping others and coaching.
Yeah, honestly, everything has been used by God.
That's a lot of things in 50 plus years.
Right. And the thing is, I really believe that God, everything I've gotten good at, it's a tool now for the ministry. Because the ministry that I have I use martial arts and fitness to bring people, but of course it's because a lot of them want the fitness part, the martial art, but then it's a tool for me to get them to understand who Jesus is. And it works because a lot of guys will reach out, hey bro, I want training, but I also want the Jesus part,
I always tell people they go hand in hand.
They go hand in hand.
There's a lot of discipline in training. Obviously, there's a lot of discipline in your spirit and your emotions, your mind and your thoughts and all that. So they kind of go together. If you're disciplined in the gym, it kind of translate a lot of times to being disciplined when you have to wake up at 4 a.m. to read your word or pray or guard yourself. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of parallels there.
There is, and you know what? If it wasn't for the martial arts frame of mind that I had, I think I would have had like a probably sloppy work ethic, probably sloppy discipline. You know what I mean? Because boxing and martial arts got me like focused and tunneled into, okay, I got to do this, get this done. So I started working on myself, my inner healing. I would stick to my guns and I got to focus on this. I don't want this thing to keep bring me backwards, the issues. So, I mean, all connected, it's amazing because you're working your spirit, body, emotions, you're doing everything. I got my nonprofit right now. I'm working on my nonprofit to start like really meshing it all together so I could have an open program to work with people with mental health, with addictions. I went to school for 2 years I went to Mount Sac and I went to ELEC for addiction studies. So I did a lot of that. I've been and everything I connected with the scriptures because I believe that if you know the brain, you know the mind, the way it works, then you bring prayer into it. You understand the person. God supernaturally can do something.
Right.
If you're just a psychologist trying to work with somebody without doing the other side, you're just gonna show them where the wound's at, but you're gonna know you don't know that God can heal a wound.
That's good. I like that.
The difference.
So you're still evolving.
I'm still evolving. I'm still working on myself. I mean,
we all are still evolving.
It's
though, right?
But I love
until we get there.
I love the fact that we know that because we are in God's purpose plan, it's always gonna get better.
And then you've been. I saw you have a couple dates set up to go out, and you're talking to departments.
Yeah, I get invited to go speak in police departments. I go speak.
Are you speaking about what are you speaking, like not falling into the same
the temptations, the pay attention to the red flags or the signs, but also more. I also share like my salvation because again I don't Bible thump these guys because they're not saved. Some of them probably aren't, but I still have to make sure they understand how I overcame all this. Right. I wouldn't have been here. There's no way I could overcome all this. There's no way that I could go back from being a monster to being a different individual. You can't. Not with all your free will, any treatment. If it isn't Jesus involved, the supernatural presence of God, there's no way you could do it. I don't care what people think. You need God's presence. You need God's power. You need God's involved, the love of God. It all has to connect. Or else there's nothing going to happen.
Wow. So you got a newborn at home.
Oh, she's 5 months, yeah.
How was that?
And you mean honestly, it's awesome. I prayed. I told the Father, I want a baby. I want to raise the baby and be there for my baby in every area. And I've been praying for the baby since she was in the womb, and it's amazing because I know that God's anointing over the baby, and I know that she's gonna be used by God already. I 100% know that.
So now the other 5 kids are like, man, now he's gonna be the best dad.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, they're all involved because they got a little
That's
sister.
good. Yeah,
and I mean, it's kind of cool. I even got
cool.
grandkids.
Hey.
she's already aunt.
She's already now. She was born in that.
Yeah, she was born in that. Yeah,
That's wild, bro.
It is
Hey,
funny.
but God's good though. God blesses us when we don't even deserve it, man.
Exactly.
And you're a true testimony of grace, of mercy.
Yes.
I mean, when we think about everything that you've done and went through and the harm and the pain and everything that you even put on other people, I mean,
Right.
and God still forgives.
Forgiveness, man, awesome.
Yeah, His grace and mercy is inconceivable. I always tell people, like, we're human. Somebody burns us twice, right? We're probably like, that's it. I'm done with them. But
Right.
God's grace and mercy is so deeper than that. We can't even understand.
And He knows our heart. He knows, like, for the most part, like us people that we really want that relationship with Him. He knows we're not playing games. He knows that we don't want to mess up and sin. He knows that but we can't stop and fix ourselves. We need Him to fix us. And there's things that we can't fix without His movement. And I mean, if you're playing with Him, it's a different story. He knows that too. But the forgiveness, going back to forgiveness. Anyone, whatever you're thinking, whoever's listening, when they listen to the show, they gotta realize that if He could forgive me, and He's forgiven other monsters like me or worse too, because I thought I was the worst one in prison. I met some bad guys too, but He's forgiven them too. That He could forgive anybody. There's no sin that He says, oh heck, I'm not forgiving you. You just gotta do your part.
Right.
Repent and understand the gospel, understand who Jesus is, what He did for you, and the fact that He's resurrected. He's sitting at the right hand right now. He's actually alive. Not fake, real.
So good.
Yeah.
So good, bro. I appreciate you, man.
Thanks.
I appreciate you coming through. It was great having you here, bro, and getting to meet you and kind of we in the same realms of a few things there. It's always a trip to me, bro. Right. It's always a trip to me. But I appreciate you coming through. We have one last thing we do, bro, before you leave. Okay. And me and Camo right here, we call this the Furious 5.
All right.
And we ask you 5 furious questions, bro.
Ask them.
Are you ready?
Sure.
And we like to have fun. So
I'm down.
Some people, they don't like to have fun.
I'm down.
Question number 1 on the Street Gospel Furious 5. Your favorite crime movie?
Sheesh. I actually, man, I got a few, but I have to go with Godfather. You
have to go with The Godfather. Yeah. 1 or 2? Oof. Definitely not 3.
I think I'm gonna go with 1. With Robert De Niro when he's young, he's building up his reputation.
Oh yeah, that's 2.
That's 2.
Yeah, that's 2. That's when they go back and he plays.
Let me go to 2 then.
Okay, 2. Yeah. A lot of people will say that 2 is better because it shows them coming up the ranks. Yeah. I love that. Question number 2 on the Street Gospel Furious 5. Now you're a cop, but you're from Jalisco. So, is it donuts or pan dulce?
I'm gonna go pan dulce. Pan dulce, yeah. Empanadas.
Oh man, the pumpkin one's my favorite, bro.
My favorite too.
See? Yeah. On the same page right there, bro.
Yep.
Question number 3 on the Street Gospel Furious 5. What is in fighting, street fighting? If you were to tell somebody they needed to learn something, what would you tell them they need to learn to survive a street fight?
Sheesh, man, I tried a bunch of good martial arts. I would say for a street fight, to probably understand Wing Chun.
Wing Chun.
That's what Bruce Lee took.
Bruce Lee, right?
Yeah, and it's a good mixture, but because you don't want just jiu-jitsu for the street because you might get jumped by 2 or 3 people. You want to understand the surrounding and balance and weaponry, like a punch, how to trap a punch, how to damage a punch, that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think Bruce was like one of the first mixed martial artists, right?
I studied his life since I was a kid. Yeah.
My son Cam loves him too.
Yeah.
I mean, and that was the thing. He Wing Chun, and then boxing.
I
mean, it was just a lot. And then I always trip out too, a little bit of a type of jiu-jitsu.
Yes, he did.
And so I'm like, it wasn't called jiu-jitsu, but it was a form of grappling. Even in some of the movies, he's
I've seen the books. I read his books. So he had some ground stuff. Yeah.
So man, it would have been amazing to see him alive. I saw an AI video of him, and he was like sitting at the table with a UFC banner in the background, and he's talking, and they have him talking about what he would do, and I was like, this is a trip. But
that's funny.
He was probably one of the first.
Well, even Gene LaBelle. I trained with Gene LaBelle.
You
he
did?
Was also I trained with him. And
Legend.
I trained with him, and he was a mixed martial artist from the beginning. He was bad dude.
Yeah, he's mostly known catch wrestling, right?
And I trained with Eric Paulson. I learned
one of my favorites.
I trained with him too, so I learned how to mix all that because catch wrestling to me, I love it all connected.
Yeah, I like a lot of catch wrestling stuff too. I feel like in a street fight, like it's
That's
really applicable. Like,
I would say I would stick to that one better than Wing
right?
Chun. Yeah, I will go with catch wrestling.
Yeah, I watch Paulson stuff all the time.
I used to train with him.
Yeah,
yeah.
He's a monster.
He's good.
He's good. He just has so many combinations with stuff.
Fun,
then you can go here, then a wrist lock, and then I'm like, bro, it's too much.
Yeah.
Question number 4 on the Street Gospel Furious 5. How do you want to be remembered? There's a lot of video of you. There's a lot of news articles of you. But when you're old and gray, if the Lord tarries and you're 80-something years old, how do you want to be remembered?
The person that actually served God and brought people to Him.
Amen. Amen. Last question. A kid at your gym comes up to you and he says, "Coach, I want to be a cop." What do you tell the kid?
I'm telling you, that's good career and everything, but I'd like to give you some good advice to prepare you before you become a cop. That's going to help you. But of course, give him the right ins and outs of the job, and give him the spiritual part of it. The most important part is the spiritual part of it.
It's good.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate you coming out, bro. It's a great time having you, man. Where can people find you at?
My Instagram is called Faith Built Warrior. My Instagram.
I'll tag you on that. On the videos. Faith Built Warrior.
Yeah, and then I'm training in Rancho Cucamonga. I teach fighters there at Lions Den. Fitness, and also I deal with people with mental health or addiction. If people need help in that area, you can reach out to me. I do it all right there.
A department wants to have you come speak.
Same thing, just reach out to me at that or my Instagram. They can reach out to me there, or my email address too. I can give
self-defense stuff for them and train them still. I seen you in the gym, still holding pads.
I'm still doing all that.
I saw you teach some jiu-jitsu, man.
Yeah.
Inside control. I saw you the other day. Inside control. If you're on the bottom, I was like, yeah, that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
I love it, bro.
And they're all rookies, so I have to give them baby stuff.
It's still good.
Yeah.
Inside control is key.
Yeah.
You got to learn inside control, man. Somebody's laying some bombs on you, man. You got to get in the middle of that. I appreciate it. And then you got a book. Where can I get your book, bro?
It's on Amazon for $8. It's a short testimonial, but it has a good prayer in the back for salvation and deliverance. The prayers in the back, like the third page to the end. So it's a good book for more people that don't know, haven't been saved or want to get the prayer or want to get deliverance. There's a prayer back there. So it's a good prayer.
Got you. Check it out. Make sure you get him out. Love to share his testimony. If you're in a department out there, this guy can help keep some of your officers out of trouble.
I work with a lot of officers.
Give them some advice, get some training so they know how to take somebody down the right way. But we appreciate Brother Ruben coming out, man, sharing his testimony, man, of God's grace and mercy. That'll conclude this episode of the Street Gospel Podcast. We love you guys. We out. Peace.
We are of the house of Israel.